like I saw a one-woman show once by a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And,
just one?
Yeah, only one. And she was like, well, my mother had breast cancer, you know, and now I have breast cancer. And I'm like, well, it's everybody. Like, they think it's so special when everyone gets cancer and dies. Like, that's not
great. What if we just ended the podcast?
But it's almost like the height of narcissism to think that you're going to you're going to be so brave as to talk about it in person,
right?
Whereas all you're doing is just garnering sympathy for yourself.
Well, I guess that's true.
How is that brave? It seems cowardly to me. It seems much braver to me. Like, I remember Richard Farnsworth was a old character actor, and he did a David Lynch movie called The Straight Story, and riddled with cancer, you know, his last movie, and very frail. And it's a fantastic movie if you ever get a chance to see it. It's not a style, because I'm not really that big a fan of what's his name?
David Lynch?
Yeah. I'm not a fan of it. I don't understand weird stuff. I'm like, huh, what? Like, but this one is a straight ahead story. You know, you think. I call it like a hard G. It's G rated.
Okay. It's a hard G.
I call it hard G. Because the second time I watched it, I'm like, whoa, I understand it all of a sudden. Well, you got to see this movie.
Okay.
And if you watch it closely, there's like hellish things going on underneath the surface of what looks like a quaint story. It's based on a guy who, in actual real life, drove his riding lawnmower across the state to visit his brother who was dying. So anyways, the point of it is that Richard Farnsworth was nominated for an Academy Award for the movie. And if he had said he was filled with cancer, he would have won for sure.
Sure.
But instead, he didn't say it. And in fact, no one knew it. His family didn't know it. He kept it from everyone. And then he was a stuntman before he was an actor. He did what they call a stuntman's death, which is you put a shotgun in your mouth and with your toe you pull the trigger and blow your head off.
Oh my God.
And so that to me is courageous. Like you're not being a burden to your family. You know, they know nothing about it. And then you're gone.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
And then toe in the shotgun.
Yeah. And you know, they write him. He wrote a nice letter to everybody, you know, in the family, and said that, you know, he didn't want to. The reason he did it is he didn't want to cause people distress. So I thought, wow, how incredible! Like how many
to just
people
go through it
do
alone.
That? Yeah.
So you don't think
to go through it alone?
You don't think you would write confessional? Like, do you? You didn't talk about any of the gambling stuff in your stand-up, did you? Was that
stand-up? No, never. I never talked about me, really. You know, I talked about universal me. You know what I mean?
Right.
That I was afraid of death, or that you know, that kind of thing, which is something that everybody is afraid of. You know, and so things like that. That it was me, but it was everybody.
Sure.
I wasn't pretending that it was a specific
right
ailment that I had. And if I had a specific ailment, and possibly I do, you don't know.
I don't know.
But I would not talk about it. I would not. I hope that I would not discuss it, and just try to benefit monetarily from that.
But you tell some of
which
the
other
stories
people get it, and they get nothing.
But you tell stories in the book, though.
Uh-huh.
So that is, in a way, you're sharing it, right?
Well, I don't tell stories, though, that are... I tell stories about my gambling.
Sure.
But, you know, I don't really think of gambling as much of an illness. Like, I think I say in the book, like, it's the only illness where you can get incredibly wealthy. You know, you don't get osteoarthritis.
That's a good joke.
Ain't going to get you dime one. I do put a lot of jokes